So if you've ever hit that wall where you're busy all day but still broke, putting in all the effort but nothing seems to be moving you forward, then this video is for you, because I've been there too and I know exactly what it feels like to be waking up with 20 things to do but no idea what actually moves the needle. And the truth is, you are not broken, it's just your system. So give me a few minutes and I'm going to show you the exact 12-step process that I use to take founders from completely stuck to sign-in high-ticket clients as balanced, systemized operators with predictable lead flow, clarity and time freedom. First of all, let's loop it back a bit, because when I started I thought I was doing everything right, posting on socials, spamming outreach all day, just trying to build something. But now looking back, I was missing the structure and the steps. I had no clear ICP, no offer that made sense, and no real system. It was just scattershot outreach. And rinse and repeat that for about 8 months. I know, 8 months. I had the exact same story that every founder has. Burnt out, inconsistent lead flow, and just wondering what I was doing wrong. I invested thousands into mentorships. Some were helpful, some were scams, but they still didn't fix the root cause of my problem. And this left me confused, probably in a similar position to you, just thinking that you're broken. Despite being some of the hardest times of my life, they did force me to dig through all the noise and find the systems that actually work in signing high ticket clients. And this is the 12-step framework that I want to show you today, one that's helped founders like Jitka, Jessica and Angel go from scatters to systemized. So let's jump on this whiteboard and go through it step by step. Okay, now this is the 12-step journey that I've just been speaking about. I'm going to run through every single step very briefly, very quickly, and try and make it as concise as possible for you. So the first step would be getting clear on your ICP. Most people think that they've got a marketing problem, but they just don't actually know who they serve. You need to work out who they are, what they need, and what they're willing to pay for. Then you need to work out what they speak like, what they sound like, where they hang out online, what sort of comment sections are they in, what posts they like in, what communities they're in, which groups they're in. That's going to make it a lot easier to find them. Once you know this, your content, your offer, everything becomes effortless because you know who you're talking to and what you're trying to sell to them. Ali Abdal has a 30-page ICP document. Now, I'm not going to say go write a 30-page ICP document because that's probably going to get you a lot of misinformation, as you need to refine it as you're sort of building out your offer. But that's how in-depth you can go with these things, right? He's got 30 pages of ICP documentation that he can use in his messaging content to really drop a pin on the head of his ICP when it comes to his content offer. The next you need to work out is your deliverables. Most people get this wrong because this is where we're really going to build out your offer. Most people thinking they're selling coaching hours or freelance work, when really you're selling a system that's going to get them that result. So turn that messy list of deliverables into a clean, outcome-driven formula that drives the result. The next thing we work out is your USP and your competitive advantage. If you sound like everybody else, you're going to get treated like everybody else, and most people will just swipe straight past. Now, this could look like a framework, a backstory, a process of delivery. But when you define this, you stop chasing clients and you build a personal brand that puts a moat around your content. Clients will naturally gravitate to you because your content is going to speak directly to them. Now, the next step is to tweak your profile like it's a shop storefront. It means optimizing your Instagram, your YouTube, and your funnel so that every piece of content and every touch point from you drives curiosity and wants people to step forward. This is where your bio becomes a story, your headlines become a case study, your YouTube becomes a university, and this all will really improve your positioning later on down the line. Now we want to really start doing a competitor analysis and our content strategy. Like I say, you don't want to skip these steps because this is all going to become scattered and you end up going around in circles, basically. Understand your competitors have already done most of the work for you. In step 5, you need to reverse engineer the top players to work out the strategy that's then put into your sort of language. Analyze their content, their tone, their hooks, the audience they're targeting. Work out what's working and then build it into your voice. It's not you're not copying them, it's just intelligent adaptation. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with your content. Just find what's working and do it better. Do it in your own style. You're going to be standing out by playing a game that's proven to convert. Next is your content strategy. This is really, really important because this is where we're going to build your content engine that's actually going to get results. Start mapping out some content pillars that mirror your client's pain points. I always recommend plan 30 days of content and then you can stand back and actually look at it. Is this telling a story? Is this a journey? Is this actually going to speak to my clients and my ICP? And does it reflect your personal brand and build you as an authority? Because that's when inbound leads are going to start to appear. So from here, we want to start building some content assets and build out a content portfolio. This includes scripts, posts, color themes, brand graphics. This is basically going to form like a brand DNA. This is where your content starts to feel fun and no longer feels like guessing what to post. This will build a system that fuels itself and people will just naturally recognize your content and your brand before even seeing your name. So far, we've got the very basic foundations and the content. This will hopefully start bringing in some inbound leads. And if not, I would still focus on these steps here. The next thing we need to do is the messaging and the outreach that's actually going to speak to these people. So once your content is optimized and you've reviewed it and you've seen what's working, we can start building out some messaging and some outreach that's actually going to speak to these people. This turns likes into conversations, conversations into book calls into closed clients. Remember, speak to them like a human. Even just reaching out and having conversations to these people as human beings is better than being so pushy with your outreach. Because eventually you're going to be finding their pain points and then being able to book them on a call from there. Like you're talking to a friend at a pub, like over a pint. And very naturally, you can then gravitate it towards maybe their business, their personal life, depending on what sort of sector you're in. And from there, diagnose the pain points that they're experiencing. Listen, if you've got this section right and your positioning is good, people will understand that you are a valuable source of information and will likely open up to you about their issues in the hope of getting some value in return. And from there, you can just get them on a call to see if you can show them what is working for you and how you've helped other people do the same thing. The important part of this is that we refine the message, because sending scattershot outreach to everybody is not going to work. Eventually, you're going to find out what messaging works the best and you're going to be able to refine that. And that's going to streamline that sort of process. So you'll find that little changes in script, different tones of voices, different punctuation actually gets more people on calls. Always pay attention to what people are replying to and what's getting people talking, basically. Okay, the next part is reviewing this whole process. Are your ICPs and deliverables still resonating with you? Is your content strategy actually getting inbound leads? Are you booking those inbound leads on calls? This is the process and the foundations that you need to lay in your business. And there's no point doing anything else until you're able to book the consistent calls. And then from here, we go into a sales mastery. This is where you actually need to learn to convert people on calls. And this is a complete skill in itself, but you need to start understanding that this is one of the most important parts of getting sales. And don't think sales is unethical either, because a lot of the people I sign are grateful that I was able to push them over the line. Just understand that you're a person that can actually solve this person's problem that they're facing. Don't be too sleazy with it and just understand that you are the obvious solution. Now, finally, this is where everything starts to click. You're able to turn all the manual work into a documented process. This could involve AI automations, bringing in hires. This is what separates the freelancer from the founder. You bring in the automations, the dashboards, the hires that save you hours every single day, freeing you up time to focus on growth and not the admin. Your first free hire should be a VA, an editor, and a setter. These are three very simple things that can save you hours and hours of time throughout your day. But there's no point doing it until you have a documented process that you can follow. So these steps is how you go from reactive to proactive, scattered to systemized, and from guessing to actually executing. And for the founders, this is not just more money, it's more clarity, more confidence, and more time for your business. Okay, we're back at my desk, so let's talk about some results. Chica came to me unsure of where to start. After building out her offer and giving her a new Instagram system, she came to me with 2 calls booked 48 hours later. Paul is a managing director. We use the performance systems that we built to save him 5 hours a week and build some structure into his workflow. Angel is a creative freelancer. We turned her unstructured schedule into a content-driven business that now attracts leads passively. These aren't anomalies. They are what happens when you combine coaching, performance, systems, and clarity. The transformation isn't just tactical, it's an identity level transformation. You stop thinking like a freelancer and start operating as a founder. You move from complete chaos to understanding the exact steps you need to acquire the clients. You go from doing everything to do what truly matters, and then every day it just becomes getting better and better at doing those. If you're a founder, coach, consultant, or agency service looking to sign some high ticket clients online but feeling stuck in the noise, this is the process that will change that. If you want to experience this transformation for yourself, join the 12-week cohort and book a call down below. And if you're still not quite there yet, I've got a completely free business audit you can take today that's going to show you some areas that you're bottlenecking in your business. Feel free to try that out for completely free. That'll be linked down below. Give that a try if you want some personalized feedback on your next steps. Because the real goal isn't just to grow a business, it's to build a business that gets you your life back as well.